Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's admin webinar on the DocuSign integration, overview, and features. My name is Stephen Asti, and I'll be instructing us today. Some of the main points that we're going to be covering in today's webinar are going to be understanding key user configuration requirements, use of the brand feature, identifying integration features your team can use, and then also teaching about the signing process to your team. As always, we want you to get the most out of your time today, so if you have any questions at any time throughout the webinar, don't be shy. Just type them right into the chat, even if it's just because we've gone too fast, or if you want to see or hear something again. We have lots to get through, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so we're going to be spending a lot of our time today in both WeEstimate, and then we're going to jump into Code Anywhere as well. So first and foremost, we have WeEstimate. Your configuration options are going to be based within Program Options. So in Program Options, you have your document e-signature interface, this one right here. And you have your signature system. If you hit the little drop-down, you'll see that you have None, eOriginal, DocuSign, or SmartSign Plus. So today, we're going to be keeping it on DocuSign just because that's the premise of the webinar. Within the Settings tab, you have a ton of just basic information. So you have your DocuSign portal, API URL, login, password, key. There's a whole lot of middle section here, which is just generally speaking, this default information that we have within our system. The first four are unique to you, so just make a note of that. And then also at the bottom of the screen here, we're going to see things called DocuSign email subject and DocuSign email body. Those two items are something that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. But just to give you an idea, those are custom fields that you can enter when you are sending a DocuSign email going out as a transaction. So you can set a default subject that gets sent out, and you can send a default email body. Some examples of that, just so you have it in your back pocket, is we have this reading regarding. So just like instead of having just kind of like a DocuSign default setup, project number, so your bin number, your job number, with document name, so the name of your quote package, which generally defaults to your job, for the customer name, so the name of your customer. So everything within these squiggly brackets are your default values, and they basically pull from our database. Then we also have the ability to integrate with a email body. So this is basically built out through an HTML file, which I will bring up shortly here. And this is the from our support article. This is how to create a custom DocuSign email subject and body. So we're not going to really spend too much time in this article, but this is the link if you want to go to take a look at it on your own time here. But this kind of gives you just a run through of what it looks like. And this is how you would set it up. So this article gives you a kind of just a walkthrough on how to do it. It's a little intensive at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not too bad. And a lot of this is just a set it and forget it type of thing, where you kind of go through it one time, and that's really about it. I had wrote this article and kind of given you everything you needed to know, and all the resources to go along with it. A lot of this uses something called HTML, which is just a type of code, but we have a free HTML online editor. I've never done HTML before in my life, but I was able to put together a kind of this whole article and all this information myself just using this free online HTML editor that I found. So I highly recommend giving this a look if you want to have your default values. So beyond that, guys, we have something here called brands. So brands are something that was new in 6.8. Within 6.8, excuse me, we issued something called brands. What brands basically is they are basically built for if you have an organization or within your company, different subsets. So if you have different logos, different branches, different departments, maybe you've done an acquisition and you want to have just different departments under that acquisition, you're able to create these brands and have them display really at any point throughout your document. So if you want to have them on a cover page, scope of work, cover letter, an about us, whatever it may be, you can go ahead and create these brands, and they just ask for simple information like company, email, phone, cell, address line, things like that, and all that information could be plugged in. Brands can be associated by region. So let's just go ahead and click one of these guys here, customer care group, click on edit. And then if you hit on the little drop down tab in the general column here, we can go ahead and select our brand name. Once that's done, we can go ahead and move forward with that. You can also do it on an office level as well. So if you want to have an office be a different brand, you can do that as well. Okay. Beyond that, guys, kind of running through this, just kind of the initial setup here. If we were to take any one of these jobs, I just made a bunch of copies here, just kind of speed up the process. To actually walk through the DocuSign process, it's fairly simple. If you were to go ahead and click on the document tab, select your quote package, send for electronic signature. Judging and really kind of based off of your view and how you have it set up in your system, you would then bring up this interface to say documents to include. So if you have a proposal document as well as any contracts that you want to send out, you can control them through this interface. And you can also view all of your reviewers as well. So by defaults, our kind of WeSuite default system here is we have the main point of contact for the job, and we have the main point of sale, so the owner of the job, basically. And we have something called sequential. So we have a signing order that's either sequential or parallel. Parallel means everybody signs at once. Sequential means it goes from top to down. You can also add reviewers. So if you click on this little blue plus sign, you're able to either search for a contact within your system, find the estimate contacts. So if you have any multiple contacts within your estimate, so if you have your main point of contact, billing, point of contact, whatever it may be, or you have the ability to add a fresh new contact. Just know that when you're adding a new contact recipient, it's for viewing purposes only. So you're able to add additional contact to have them, send something over on the fly, but you're not able to have them physically sign. So all let's do here is click on the Send for Signature button. You got this pop-up that says your documents have successfully been sent. And in my case, I have the owner of the quote as myself. So the owner as well as the main point of contact for the job, or just both my email, just for demo purposes and testing purposes. We'll get this pop up that says review for documents. We just got an incoming email, which is great. We get this pop up that redirects us to the DocuSign portal. And really from this point forward, this is your typical DocuSign e-sign experience. You just have to agree on the document. Just continue. We have something here when our document team builds your document called anchors. So when you're creating your document and you're kind of going through the motions here, anything that you see here that says sign is fully customizable by us. So if you have a document or a proposal or a contract, whatever it may be, and you want to have that information kind of just just embedded into your document, you can toggle where and how to sign it. So for this one right here, this is just the signature for the main point of contact. In this case, it's Stephen Trunks. I can select a style, I can physically freehand draw it, or if I'm super fancy, I can upload my signature. So the standard is to just kind of plug that in, and I'll click on finish. A feature that we have within WeEstimate is we have the ability to redirect a customer after assigning to a website. So in this case, we are able to send a document over, or send a customer over to our website. So if you want to send a customer after signing to your landing page for your website, whether it's your main page, a specific area like pricing or explore or whatever it may be, your product screen, we have the ability to control that for you if you like. So now I just got another ding, which basically was me telling me that or the system telling me that, hey, your contact signed the proposal. Let's go ahead and get you to sign to close this deal. So I'll bring up DocuSign. Same concept here. Continue, start, and sign. I'll do a brief load, and it will redirect us back to our main page. Awesome. So one of the other things I wanted to do, guys, is kind of just go through Quote Anywhere as well. And for this, I'll go ahead and just for the purpose of time, I'll go ahead and just copy this quote, paste it in. Just call it new site bid, that's fine. Naming convention can stay the same. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go to our Quote Anywhere, and we'll go back to our home page, and we will find our new quote. So the process here is fairly simple. It's kind of the same thing exactly. Just on the left-hand side, we're going to find our document screen, which is the second from the bottom. And there's going to be a couple different fields here. So we're going to mainly be working around the Start eSign process, but there is the ability to add a contract as well. So if you add a contract, you're going to see anything in here with brackets, and what our document team does is this tells you what is available for what system. So you're going to have eOriginal, you're going to have DocuSign, and you're just going to have your eSign in brackets. So adding a document is fairly simple. It's just going ahead and clicking on the toggle. Again, with Quote Anywhere, this is completely touch-friendly, so if you are working on a tablet or mobile device, you're able to quickly just toggle them on or off just by swiping. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead and stick with the main proposal document, and we're going to go ahead and start the eSign process. So similarly to WeEstimate, we have the ability to sign a document. We have the configure, so if we want to kind of configure our options. We have the ability to consolidate or separate. So these are grayed out just because we only have the main proposal. But if we were to have a contract involved, we would able to consolidate everything to just one giant eSign, one PDF, so to speak. But in this case, we only just have the one, so we'll click on the Sign Documents button. After a brief load, it'll send out the emails, so I just got a ding from my end, letting me know that the email got sent. But what's nice about Quote Anywhere is you have the ability to sign on your device. So if you are on site or you're doing a job locally, you're able to click on the signer device or just touch it if you're on a tablet. And this will automatically direct you to the DocuSign portal. So no need to open up your email, no need to download anything. Just as long as you have internet connection, you're good to go. So we'll click I agree for signature, continue, start, sign. Same concept here, select the style or draw. Finish. It'll then just say thank you, close out of the tab. It'll redirect you back. You can click on Sign or Device. Continue. Start. And finish. One nice little feature with Quote Anywhere is you can click on the Preview tab at any given point after the sign, and you can preview the finalized document. So you don't have to go into your portal on DocuSign and look up anything there. You can click on Preview Document, and you can scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see the signatures and the dates. You also have the ability to download as a combined PDF or separate PDFs if you did choose to consolidate the document. And you also have the ability to print. Lastly here, guys, if we click on the little back arrow and we go to sales status, we'll see here that the quote has been sent then it's the winning quote because the quote has been signed by the user. So awesome. Thank you everybody for joining us today. We hope you feel more comfortable with everything that was discussed today, and hopefully you feel more comfortable with the DocuSign, the portals, the setup, the brands, all that good stuff. If you need to refer back to this webinar again, it'll be emailed to everybody attending, and you'll always be able to reference it back to our website under the System Admin webinar page. So mark your calendars for our next webinar. On the admin side, we have best practices for onboarding and offboarding users, and that's on June 11th. And on the sales side, we have WeSuite closing sales using the eSign integration, kind of a little complement to this one, on June 18th. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.